Hello everybody and welcome once again to Forever Stranded. In this quick tip I want to show you how to manufacture ender crystals automatically. So you'll see behind me I've got a bit of an AE2 setup, so I want to show you that. It's not the way I'm going to do it, but it's the way I started to try and do it. If you remember, I built a room and I actually put in it an ender spawner like this, and I caught the endermen into soul jars using a mechanical user. Now I was thinking, well, this is actually a bit of a pain, because to do that, to automate that, you can't automate it very well. So if we have a look at our network here, I should explain this too. This is also you'll see the cyan network at the back here is separate. You'll see the number of channels here is 6, and the number of channels here, well, if I actually get to the right place, that probably be best to move this, wouldn't it? Let's just move these two so we can actually see the channels better. You see they've disappeared. In fact, they haven't disappeared, they've just gone into my backpack here. The backpack's set to collect A2 stuff. Okay, they add a channel to each one, but that doesn't really matter so much. You'll see here we've got 6 of 8 channels being used, and here we see we've got 2 of 8 channels being used. So one channel is the ME terminal, and the other channel is the export bus. On this one and this one, you've got lots of channels for different things, so we've got some level emitters. And what the level emitters do is they basically will emit a redstone signal at a particular condition. So the condition here is 1 ender crystal, and it says emit it when it's below. So when it's less than 1 ender crystal, so no ender crystals, it will emit a redstone signal. And the same as here is true. In this case, I'm not doing endermen, I'm doing Precient Crystals, which are made from shulkers, or shulkers, I think, or shulker. Now, when we have a look at what we've got in our network, let's do that first of all. Let's have a look. We've got all these soul vials in here, but I don't want all these soul. Let's take this one out here and let's get them, put them into this small storage crate. So I'm going to put an export bus on here like this, and right click this and then put the bat into there like that. And then I'm hoping to get the soul vials. You don't get any bat soul vials unless I put this particular bat soul vial into the network. Let's do that then. And put that into the network, because that's this one, and it'll come into here. The only one, we've got 1 bat. So the one way around that, I was thinking, well, we could use a fuzzy card. So let's have a look at this. You'll see here I've got a little extra window. This extra window, let's put the fuzzy card in first of all, is here. It's part of the network tool. So you can store cards in your network tool like that. And you can actually control the visibility of the facades as well. So here was a facade, which is actually a dirt. I was trying to make a grass facade, but we don't have them in this. They don't exist. Funny, isn't it? Of all the ones you can't find grass facades. So now we're getting more soul vials in, but these soul vials are everybody's soul vials. Let's just take this soul vial here, for instance, and then right click it. Let's have a look at the inventory of this one. So if we press shift, we can see the more information, and you can press control and you can see, oops, moved off it. You can see the NTB data. So what it's saying here is the NTB data is different for every single soul vial, which is not very good for automation purposes. So I was going, no, that's a bit of a shame. Anyway, maybe we can do it this way. Let's put that back in there like that. And let's have a look at what we've got on our network now for soul vials. I think I've removed the view card in here. Let me just check the view crystals. Oh, it'll have been pulled into my backpack, won't it? Let's put it back out of here. What I want is this one here. So we put that into here so we can just see what we want to see. In fact, I should show you what we actually want to see. To manipulate these things, you use a cell workbench. And in the cell workbench, I'm looking for soul vials, in this case endermen, and then I was looking for pulsating crystals. These are the 4 main crystals from Ender.io. and then the grains that these produce. So if you grind a pulsating crystal, you get grains of pisality. Ender crystal, you get grains at the end, and Precient crystals, you get grains of prescience. So there's that, and it's also got a fuzzy card, so the fuzzy card will show all of the endermen, or all of the soul vials, like that. So we can put this back into here like that, and then we can just see these. You actually can have multiple of these, but it doesn't help very much because that was just a subset of this one. So here we see we've got 14 ender crystals, 6 prescience, 9 pulsating, and 11 vibrant crystals. Those are fairly straightforward to make. And on this network you see the same thing. You can see you got 14 ender crystals, 6 of those. Now I'm going to remove this powered spawner for the time being, like that, because I want to demonstrate this first of all. If I take these ender crystals out of here like that, that's going to turn on this emitter. This is what we sort of expect to happen. So let's put it back in again now. Look at it, and you'll see it says spawn. Now if you click this button here, it says capture, and it captures endermen into soul vials. So let's take 2 of those, and let's enable this by removing the I want to make sure this is disabled, by the way. It is. Yeah. And let's remove the ender crystals out of here. What you'll see is happening is this. This is getting captured to an enderman in a soul vial. So I've now got endermen in soul vials, just like that, which is the most important bit. And let's come back over here and put these ender crystals back in again, so that turns it off. In here I've also got another enderman in a soul vial. Let's take him out of there for the time being, and let's just sort my inventory here. And you'll see here all of these 4 endermen I produced from that are identical. In fact, in this chest here I've got some more. So now I've got 13 endermen, all identical, and 13 of those and 4 shulker and several. So that means we can automate this system like this. So let's remove these now, since we know that we can have identical. Every time I generate one of these guys, they're identical. Let's take these downstairs to where I've actually got everything set up, ready to go. So this is where the enderman one goes, and this is where the shulker goes here. And in here I've got some patterns, so let's go and have a look at those patterns actually first of all. So we just need to put the pattern in here like that, and you'll see this is going to create a shulker from an empty soul vial. So an empty soul vial will produce a shulker, which is what we basically want. The other one, of course, is enderman. So this time it'll tell me getting an enderman from there. So let's go and put those now into the system like this. So this should be the enderman one, which it is, and that should be the enderman vial, it is. And let's do the other one over here. And let's just check this one's not set to spawn, but is actually set to capture, and remove those from there, of course. And then we need to put those soul vials into the system, because there probably aren't any around. Let's just see if it'll actually work. We've got 5 already, so we could put those in there. So now we can craft 1 enderman like this. Oops, let's try again. Sorry, what I wanted to do is be able to see the crafting over here in the corner. So let's do that again. And start. Ah, yes, of course. Now these are actually set to. Oh, I made another boob as well. Let's just go and fix that first boob, because what I've done is I've still got this on attached to here, like that. So the enderman I will have produced will be ending up in here, or shulker. So we don't want that to happen. Let's try that again. Now these are both turned off, so we need to set these to being always active. And take this one out of it. We don't want that in there, do we? Because we don't want necessarily always active. And this one, always active. Capture, capture. Now let's just have a quick check at what we've got set up. Let's try crafting one more of those. Aha. So I created a shulker, I think. Let me just double check that. Oh, no, I've got something wrong, because that's an enderman. Oh, hold on. Yes, I've just been... wrong way, sorry. What have we got here? Oh, that is right. I actually normally set them up the other way around. So there we have one enderman. Let's take it back again, and let's try that again with a shulker. So we want to make a soul vial of a shulker. Let's go plus and craft one of these. Start. And here you see it's doing one of these, and it's capturing it into the soul vial like that, and that then disappears into the network. Now let me put these up in here, and you'll see that these are actually stacking as well. So therefore the next part of this is very straightforward. If we want to make these crystals, all we need to do is come up to the here and create some rules for that. Well, that's the wrong one, isn't it? I want the where's it gone to? This one over here. If I can get it, yeah. So I've actually got the rules already set up. So we should now be able to craft some vibrant crystals from what we've got. Let's have a look. Sorry, not vibrant crystals. Ender crystals. So if we look now for crystals, take these out of here and then craft 2. You see, now we're going 2 of those with 1 of those. So that's actually going to work. So we start that. And we have a look up over in here. We should see this working. That's actually set to always active, and this is using XP, but I haven't set that back again. This should be in push mode like that. And as soon as you push it, it's taking the XP from here. Just wait a few seconds. I don't know whether I've actually upgraded the power on this. I should have done. So those go out, and the next pair come in here. In fact, I don't think I've configured this correctly. Let's just configure this, because I think on the back side I've not configured this at all. It's set to none, so we need to change that to push and pull. Let's see, and then it's working correctly. So now we have 2 more ender crystals in the system. There we go. So we put those back again. So all you now need to do to make these into grains for Dew of the Void or whatever, you need to put them through the sag mill. But there's a trick, and I want to show you this trick. Let's do that first of all. This is my compound, or half my compound. Let me just what am I going to do with this, because it's not very useful. Look at this. Why doesn't it load in sometimes? And it won't load in. Just a second, I'll come back in a minute. Now I've loaded it in. And you'll see here I've got a sag mill. Now this sag mill has got dark steel balls in it. And the reason you want to use dark steel balls is because the main output you get 150% chance. So you're getting another little bit more chance of getting over flint, that is, more grains. So for example, let's take out of our system now 10 ender crystals. Let's take those, split those into 3, put those 6 back, and let's put those into here now. Sorry, wrong way. In fact, yes, let's put them in like this, and you'll see we're getting grains. Sometimes you're getting more than 1, quite often we're getting 2. So let's have a look at how many grains we've now got. That was why the view cell was quite useful. You see, actually it's going down because they're getting exported into here. 17 grains. And what the one I haven't done, of course, was the other one was the pulsating one. So let's do the pulsating crystal grains, which is grains of the end, grains of piezoality. It's the one we want. Let's make 20 of those. Oh, 30 will do fine. Let's start those. And those are going to go up and down. And those are going to come into here like that. So as it fills up, it's getting hooch again. And this side has actually also got some grains of piezoality coming in with some grains of prescience. And that'll make, you won't see very much of it, here it is, vapor of levity, and it's actually at the top. It's one of those ones. If you look at a bucket of buckets, let's have a look. I suppose the easiest way to do is look at temperatures. I don't want to do that down here, I want to do it down here. So if you look at temperature, you'll see you get buckets which are upside down, and those are basically, I think those are gases. And the one we wanted to have a look at was vapor of levity, and you'll see it's this one here. And it's got a temperature of 5,000. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I do know if you put a bucket down, you'll get a tower of vapor, and ice and snow all being generated around it. And I think you can use that in extreme reactors as a coolant. So there we are. So that's it in a nutshell, how you can automate creating crystals which you normally wouldn't be able to do. So I hope you learned something new from this one, because it took me a bit of effort to get there. So until next time, bye for now.